Hello and welcome back to National Busways West Scotland, here at the Port Glasgow garage in Port Glasgow, just west of Glasgow. West? Yes, west. I keep forgetting that this is indeed the west coast, even though I say it at the start of every episode that this is West Scotland. But we're here in Port Glasgow because we're going to do some things in Inverclyde. This is in fact Glasgow. So off camera I've bolstered the fleet at Whinhill to 32 in order to cover the full vehicle requirement of the 17. Which means, is that still our emptiest garage? Yes it is, because I mean even PG's at 66. So, you know, new garage in Inverclyde necessary at some point. But not yet. For the moment we are fine. So, let's get to work. Today we're going to be looking at Gourock and Greenock and the sort of lower density area down here to serve with some lovely little local buses. So, first of all, let's have a look at our numbering. All the way at the end. So we do have one local service in, the 412, from Port Glasgow to Gourock, which I believe is this one. Is it that one? Let's have a look. Yes, it is. It is indeed that one. So, oh, that goes all the way, wow, up the Gourock. So what we're going to look at is, you know, local things, local buses for local people. So, let's get our colour, and we will get straight into it with our own bus route. And so I've not done any planning, I should say, so I need to go to OpenStreetMap. I've got my laptop off to the side. West Scotland. Right, what is this estate called? This estate doesn't really have a name. Great. Oh, Whinhill. There's a station there. We're gonna start down here. Whinhill. Whinhill Cardross Crescent. That's going to be the start. Okay, cool. 413. Whinhill. Is that how you pronounce that? Spell that. Yes, it is. That's not the letter L. Whinhill to Gourock. That was very close, but no cigar. So we're going to put a stop, and we're going to go Whinhill, size equals 75, small caps, Cardross, crescent, small caps, size equals 100. Very nice. So we're going to come out of Whinhill, this way into Greenock, into the bus station, and then probably into Gourock this way, or into Gourock sort of this way. So, post me if you don't mind. And the 413 is now done, running from Gourock, Cardross Crescent, Whinhill, Cardross Crescent to Gourock Town Centre. You know, it's a new axis that we haven't run on yet, though we might be chucking quite a few buses on that road. We'll see. But this is the 413. Hopefully it's not going to be too busy, because I don't want to use big buses on it. And the timetable for the 413 is done. We will be quiet enough to use the DS type that I want to use for this route. And we will have service every 30 minutes during the day, every hour from 7 PM. And on Sundays we'll have every 30 minute service from 6 till 4 or 6 till 4:30 this way. Caught that. No, I didn't need to catch that. There we go. And then from 5 or 4:30 till 9 it's an evening service, running every hour on Sunday evenings. So we will have vehicle requirement of 2 on this route. I don't need to check that, so we'll activate that later. That is the 413, which, if I just go bring that up, that's the 481. That is in fact the 481. That's definitely not the correct route. What I want to bring up is the 413 from Whinhill out to Gourock. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go this way. What are you? What are you called? You look like a cool place to run a bus. You are Overton. Cool. Get that. This is going to be the 414 from Overton to Gourock again. Yes, Overton to Gourock, but via sort of more of Greenock rather than going cross country. Right. The game is having a moment. This is not. I hope the game knows that this is not what games do. But this game is doing this. That looks like a nice little turning circle. So I'm going to do it there. 414 Overton to Gourock. Boink. Put there, and Overton. And post me, if you don't mind. And there is the 414 from Overton to Gourock via the long way in Gourock. Yeah. That's the 414. Hopefully that does well. It should do well. It goes through Greenock Town Centre. I don't see why it wouldn't. And the timetable for the 414 is now done, running every half hour until 20 to 7-ish, and then hour from 20 to 8 until 20 to 11. On Sundays, it runs every hour from 10 past 6 to 10 past 9, with just one bus that bounces backwards and forwards, and that bus starts from Overton, so the first bus back from Gourock is at 6:38. That will run from PG. Later. Did I set that up to want DS's? I don't think I did. So now I have to go in and find it. Rescue mission done. We now have DS's. So now I'm going to visit Port Glasgow again. We're going to do another we're going to do another local service from Port Glasgow to Gourock, like the 412, but this is the 415. And it'll run from this estate here, which is called... What are you called? It's not Bedrainy, I know that much. It's called the Mid-Achkinlock Estate. Okay. So, let's first of all see if I've got my routes sorted out. Or if I got my colour sorted out, that's what I meant to say. I'm good at this. I'm good at this whole YouTube thing. On my clipboard, yes I do. So this is going to be the 415, Port Glasgow to Gourock. And it's just going to start there, so that the circular sort of works. Port Glasgow X-N, size equals 75, small caps, and this is Mid-Achkinlock. There we go. I might not be able to do YouTube things, but I can type. And typing is always a useful skill to have. We're not even going to stop for the section that we're on this road. We're just going to go around this estate here. The Devol estate. Stop there should encompass most of that. And wouldn't you know, we've joined the 412. While the 412 goes this way, very much down the back end, this one is going to take the main roads. So we're going to go down to Jean Street and Lower Mary Street. We'll let something else deal with that. Actually, you know what? This one will be the route that deals with this. With 3 stops, like that. And then we will continue down here. I also realized that I normally, ask PostMe if he minds, but I guess PostMe minds? So, PostMe has decided to keep you in, or PresentMe has decided to not let PostMe get a word in. So, standard, I'm maintaining quality here. But it's sometimes nice to see a route get put in, So let's go to... Let's stop on Kilblane Street. Do that. There we go. Come into the bus station, go around. Then do that. Oh! I didn't need to do any of that. Okay, that's made this route a whole lot easier. You're gonna go there. And then down, literally down the main road, the main Glasgow road. This isn't going to be the only route that does this, but I just want to make sure that I'm getting everything covered. So coming down this, what is this? Does it stop being, it's now Eldon Street. Now, do I make like a relatively direct route for most of this and then go, psych, we're in Gourock now? Or is that mean? I think I'll make this a relatively direct route. Maybe it means we can't use DSs on it. But I don't mind that. And that's Gourock. It's a fairly long route for, you know, a local service. Oh, stop lagging. Okay, so I'm putting in the the other way of this route. I was going to do that in a little jump cut. But that estate, the road up to it is one way. So that's no. We have to serve that with a circular from Port Glasgow, like a dedicated circular. Oh, and then I need to change which stop I'm using for Bogton Station, which is there. Need to get rid of that. And put there. Nope, that seems wrong. Aha. Put it in there. Then I can go over here and get rid of this stop, which I had put in assuming that I could go into the estate, but you can't. So that's fine. No, Mary Street, Jean Street. Interesting that there's no stop on the other side here. I'll put one in. And then just continue down as we were. Through the Devol estate. Devol, I think it's Devol. This place. It's near Port Glasgow. It's in Port Glasgow, near the station. And then we're going to put a stop there. And then go across to Mallock Road. Mallock Avenue and Port Glasgow Mid Auchinleck. There is the 415 from Port Glasgow to Gourock. It's a fairly chunky route, again, for a local service. I'm tempted to run this every 15 minutes, so that I can use DSs at least. But we'll see what happens. And the timetable for the 415 is now done. It runs every 15 minutes during the week, with a half-hourly service on the evenings and Sunday during the daytimes, while Sunday evening service drops once again to every hour. So I'm just going to do a little vehicle requirement check. 5:15 gets into Gourock to do the 6 o'clock, leaves Gourock, get back to Port Glasgow at 6:47, where it will take out the 7 o'clock. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buses that we need for this route. So I'm going to buy, I think, 16 Dennis Darts for all this. And that should be a very nice sort of expansion of local service through here. So we'll activate that later. So just to go over, we have the 413, which runs from Whinhill down here at this sort of far end of Gourock. If it will load. There we are. far end of Gourock, then through the sort of back way to Gourock. Then there's the 414 from Overton. Does this little squiggle because I assume there's a big hill, or like a, you know, sudden drop. And then down relatively main roads into Gourock until the last moment where it goes, nope, we're actually a local service. And then the game's had a moment while I'm trying to be in a flow. Love that. Right, game's finished having a moment. Now I'm going to try to get back in my flow. So the 415 runs from this part of Port Glasgow and then basically sticks to the main roads all the way into Gourock. And all of these routes are going to use the same bus. They're going to use some little tiny baby friend Dennis Darts. And we're going to get 16 of them because we have a vehicle requirement of 12 with these new services. And just getting a few more than you need means that you shouldn't encounter too many delays. So, marketplace, that's what we want. We want Dennis Dart. Where's the dart? There's a dart. No PIS, because it's 2002. We can't afford 10, which is unfortunate because we need 16. I wonder if I can get the glitch to work. So let's buy 6 for 158. Not Glasgow, we want Renfrewshire Inverclyde, DS type for Inverclyde. Isn't this thing actually gorgeous? Isn't he pretty? Of course it's got all of my usual details. Although not the one we introduced earlier this week with the Euro 6 branding, because Euro 6 is not a thing in 2002. The glitch has worked. I can buy another 6 and we will have 12, which is our vehicle requirement. So let's get another 6. And then, you know what? We've got 12. Let's get 4 more to reach the 16 that we need. And there we go. 16 Dennis Darts ordered, even though we could only afford like 5. Or, well, like 8. We couldn't even afford 8. We could only afford 7. We bought more than twice what we can afford. Nice. So. I'm going to get these prepared to go out on local services. Setting those to have that. And PG. Let's go with DS. I don't know where I am so far with the dart numbering. Let's go with 165. And this is going to be SF, you know what? SF52. SF52. OGB. That fleet number is already assigned. Okay, what about 187? Yes, I can do 187. So, I'm going to get the rest of these done. This is going to be DS 188. And this is going to have, it's going to say SF52 OGC. And I'll get the rest of these done in a happy little jump cut. And finally we have SF52 OGT, better known as DS202. there are our brand new Dennis Darts ready for service on the 413, 414 and 415. There you go. I think that's the only one that's got a dark fleet number. They should all be using white. Technically the grey has a better contrast than the white, but I prefer the way the white looks. It's a fleet number, it's not super critical. So, and if this was the real world, it would also be on the roof, but I can't be bothered to make a different file for each one. Routes. Bus routes. 413, which is Whinhill to Gourock via Gourock and then the back way, which is this way. Like that. Activate. And I'll get the rest of these activated in another happy little jump cut. And our local routes are now activated. So it's time to get the game running and have a look at what the shift schedule looks like for tomorrow at PG. The game's having yet another moment. There we go. So, there are 30 assignments, which is a good sign. That's less than double the number of buses. So, interesting. Aha, there they are. OGB is indeed the first one. Do I have drivers? Do I have enough drivers? That's a question. Yes, I do. Very nice. Probably need to get a few more so they're not working their butts off. But let's assign this first day manually. Okay, there's the first 6 done. Now the next set of 6. Oh, we actually have so many. We actually have more than enough. It looks like we only need as many as we only need 12. Watch me eat my words. Watch me eat my words. So far, no words are being eaten. Words are being eaten. I think there's one at 12:25 somewhere, yes. So I'll just put those out. There we go, using all of them. Words thoroughly eaten. There's a 12:40. There's a 12:40 here. Uh, 12:55. I may have a few 12:50s on page 3. So let's have a look. Yes, I do. 12:50. 12:50. 12:55. There was a 12:55 over here. Was there a 1300? Yes, there was. Then a 1310. 1320. Right, now let's have a look. 1840 is the earliest on this page. 1835 here. And on this page, it is, yeah, okay, so 1835. There we go, that is as efficient as we can run this service. We need all 16 buses, but many of them are only doing 1 shift. Most of them are doing 2, and there's only 1 doing 3. So I consider that an absolute win. Let's go have a look at the 17, which we put in last week. Which is, you know, the new route that runs out of Whinhill. with Enviro 500s. Making our way over to Glasgow. Very, very busy. But we have one heading down towards Newton Mearns from Annisland. It's fairly quiet, but again, it's 2 in the morning. Like, this is as night as it gets. Why does that have so much padding? But coming up towards the university, which is just down where that other Enviro 500 is, it's picking up a little bit. We're getting more into central. Part of me is wondering if the 7 needs to be 24-hour anymore now that the 17 runs. But I think it's useful to have the 7 running 24-hour. So I'll keep it. And while we're looking at a virtual, admittedly, overnight bus service, I have had an idea for something sort of in the vein of what my good friend Lucy does with routing through, but looking specifically at night buses. Because Lucy's currently doing Greater Manchester, and the way they do night buses there is pretty much just with 24-hour day services, I don't know if that would count as sort of stepping on her toes somewhat, but if it doesn't, then I'm thinking of doing that, and I'm thinking of calling it by night. That will take the Saturday upload slot, which is sort of as and when I feel like it right now. So yeah, look out for by night on Saturdays if I decide to go ahead with that, because it sounds like the sort of thing I would absolutely love to do. I'm a big fan of night bus bashing. You know, night buses are fun, night buses are cool, night buses are very useful as well. Even in a place like London, especially in London, because the tube doesn't run on at night most nights. And even when it does run at night, only certain lines run at night. So, being able to get home is very important if you want your city to have good nightlife. So night buses, I think, are crucial to that. So that's sort of by night, that's my idea. It's just sort of, night buses are good, here's London's. And maybe in the future I'll branch out, do other cities' overnight bus services as well. Because Edinburgh's got really good night service. So does Portsmouth, of all places. So, yeah, that's the idea. Let me know what you think of by night, and depending on how I'm feeling about by night, I'll get it done. I'll start filming it. But we are just coming down through Thornley Bank, in the sort of dead zone of just a few little housing clusters between the bulk of Glasgow and Newton Mearns. We're now in Newton Mearns, coming down this road, and we're quite busy, it has to be said. I'm borderline impressed. So now we are in mid-Auchinleck, awaiting the first 415 departing now for Port Glasgow, Greenock and Gourock. Looks like we departed at the exact same time as a 412, that's fun. The 412 should get into Port Glasgow before us, maybe? Yes, kind of. But it doesn't matter, because even though it's only a few stops behind us, that takes the back roads, which apparently are quicker. I wouldn't have expected that. Maybe it's because the timings are quite generous. But we're not doing too bad. We've got 17 on board, which is pretty much every seat taken. So that's good. And now coming into Greenock, we are behind the 412. Interesting. But the 412 only goes to Greenock. No, the 412 goes to Gourock. What am I on about? Yeah, it goes up the road next to the one the railway goes under. And then as we come through Greenock's sort of big town area, we are quite busy, but it's not horrible. Like, I'm pretty sure I've been on an MPD with 23 people on. It wasn't bad. It's like, you know, small. Well, I've been on a bus this size with that many people on, I can guarantee that. And it's not a horrible experience. It's, you know, 20 people on a bus with 18 seats is fine. Because more often than not, you'll get more than just the excess standing, and you'll have a few free seats. Because some people would rather stand than sit next to someone. I would say I don't get it, but I do, to my very core. So, yeah. And as that's about to get into Greenock, let's take a look at this, which is a 414 to Overton. Pulling decent numbers, actually. So that's good. And there's a 701 right behind us, which is also very nice. Love the 701. And we are fairly busy. We're busier than the 415. Presumably because the 414 only runs half hourly, but the 415 runs every 15 minutes. Or it could also be because that we went down the 414 before peak time. Or 415 before peak time, and now it's peak time. And now there's lag. But when is there not lag? This is my City Bus Manager series. Even South Coast is getting lag now, which is very unfortunate. Definitely need that PC upgrade that still hasn't happened yet. Dad is busy, and my dad's the one building the system. So, that's there. Where is Whinhill? Whinhill is over there. Next one is at 700. I just missed it. That's a 414. That's a 413. So let's just, you know, ignore what's happening now. Ignoring. Please pretend that we're going to, I don't know, Mars or something, rather than just the other end of the 413 to actually look at it. Right, now it is time to ride the 700 service from Whinhill through to Gourock. This one goes the long way. Ooh, it's busy. Yeah, this one goes the long way to Gourock via the sort of the countryside. So I'm interested to see how busy that goes. I've just sped it up to 2 times. There you go. And yeah, the 2 buses, they pass there. It's a very, very quick out and back. They only get 1 minute at Whinhill and 2 minutes at Gourock to catch a break, which is probably a bit of a yikes, but you know, that's how it is. And then coming into Gourock after our sort of diversion, we go in fairly directly along the way everything else goes. So I've been recording for probably quite a while. So I will see you in next week's visit to West Scotland. Bye bye.